is Sherman from premadepixels.com, and I'm so happy you could join me for another exciting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create some amazing text effects inside of Photoshop. And what's important and what's more exciting is you don't have to download a Photoshop action, you don't have to buy a plugin. We are going to be creating this effect 100% inside of Photoshop. All we'll be doing is turning our text layer into a smart object, creating a displacement map, and applying a displacement filter. It's that simple. Let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is, let me just delete this text layer that I have here. So we're starting from scratch. We want to create a document, and I've already done that. Let's go see our size. Now the size isn't important in the sense that you want to make sure you can use any size you want, any resolution you want, but all you have to do is make sure that the size of this document and the size of your displacement map that we'll be creating in just a bit is the same width and height and the same exact resolution. So your original text document cannot be different from your displacement map in terms of resolution and width and height. It has to be the same. So I've used for this example 1920 by 1080 at a resolution of 72, and once I have that set up, I will start applying the text. Click on your text in the toolbar layer and let's write some text. Let's just call it text effect. Once I have the text on my document, I'll bring it up nice and big here, and now my text is fine. You make sure you want to turn your text into a smart object. The smart object will enable us to keep adding and keep trying out different effects without damaging the text, which means you can change whatever text you need. If you want to call it something like organic text, if you want to call it the name of your music album, the name of your design that you're doing for your client, whatever, just make sure it's a smart object so you can always come and change the text later on if you wish. So I'm just calling it text effect. The second thing, like I said, is remember your displacement map has got to be the same size. So to make things easy, I'll just go up to image, go to duplicate, just so we've got our settings, our width and height and resolution the exact same and we don't miss that step out. So I'll just call this displacement, click OK, and now we are in our displacement PSD. Delete your text from the displacement because you don't want to have text, you want to have some images. So we are going to create a pattern here, and by default we are presented with this trees pattern here. I'm using the latest version, Photoshop CC21, and I think the same pattern's available in CC as well. If not, doesn't really matter, but you can use any image you like. Click OK, right click, and let's rasterize this layer. Go to image adjustments and desaturate, so we're left with blacks, whites and grays. Use the layers, rather your levels, and make sure you get enough contrast there. That's fine. Once you have this set up, you can save your PSD, your displacement PSD. So I'm just calling it displacement, saving it on my desktop. Now I'll head on over to my text effect layer. That's my initial PSD that I created right at the beginning. So you want to go to filter, you want to go to distort, click on displace. I'm using the default 10 by 10. Click OK, and then click on displacement. Now you can see just by that simple step I've got some damaged, glitchy looking text effects. So now I can exaggerate the effect by changing my horizontal scale to about 30, and let's see what that does. Let's take the vertical scale to 20 and let's see the effect that we get. Look at that, our effect is really looking good. And what's better is you can go back to your displacement map and let's search for another image. I think I've taken this concrete wall texture here. I'll copy that. I just typed concrete. I think I did that, but doesn't really matter. That's the one I selected. And if you want, I can select this as well. Okay, let's do this. Copy this particular image, go back to Photoshop, to your displacement map, PSD, paste it inside. Let's desaturate. Go to image adjustments, desaturate, and now let's bring out some contrast in this, like so. That's fine there. And now bring up your leaves pattern that you had created right at the top, bring it above your concrete layer, and change the blend mode of your leaves to vivid light, something like this. It looks really ugly, but that doesn't matter. Save it, go back to your first PSD where your text is, click on displace, click OK, and point to your displacement map PSD, and look at that. Now you've got an even better result. So what you can do is play with the settings again. You can reduce your vertical scale to 0, and your horizontal scale, let's bring it down to say 20, and look at that. So your effects will keep changing, and that's pretty amazing if you ask me. It's really nice. I like effects like these. We've used 10 now. Click displace, and there you can see now the effects keep changing. So that's pretty cool. Now go back to your displacement map, and let's say you just wanted the concrete texture. So you save it, go back to this your initial PSD that's with your text on it, double click on displace. Let's bring this up to 40, click OK, and go to displacement map. And now our text is totally smashed. That's because we've exaggerated the effect to 40. If we take 10, it'll look much better. So see the effects that we've created. We've gone from this to this to this to this to this to this. Look at that. And we've got these effects, and they're all editable, so that's even better. So another thing you can do is you can add some noise to your text. You can go to noise, add noise, and see, so you're getting a little more grunge in there. It looks nice like this. And let's go to the displacement map, and let's exaggerate these effects a bit more. What I'll do is I'll add yet another pattern stacked on top of it, and let's go for something like this. Make sure you want to rasterize and desaturate like that, and then our blending modes again. It's not really making that much of a difference. Let's try something like this. So you can see we've got all our layers visible and blended together. Save it, and let's go to our text effect here, add, double click on displace, click on our displacement, and just look at that. Now this is even cooler. All I did was, I'm not reading a script here. I don't have settings written down that achieve the best results. I'm doing this on the fly, and you can see the amazing results that we're getting. We've not used plugins. We've not used any fancy actions that are widely available but going to cost you $7, $8. We've done everything organically just using a displacement map, and we've added some noise. It's that cool. Let's invert our background now, and once we've inverted, let's make our text white to see how it looks as white text. Let's go color overlay, and just look at that. We've brought out I mean, all the little grit and grime in the text effect here. What you can also do is, I sometimes like to go to filter, I like to go to noise and add median just to round off my text a bit. This is too much, but obviously you want something like this. Now see, just by this one filter, the median filter, we've got a totally different result. Isn't that cool? So let's See, once we've knocked off our median filter and once we add it in, we get a total different result. And that's the amazing thing about displacement maps. And it's also amazing when you experiment. There are endless possibilities and endless amounts of effects that you're going to get if you just spend a little time just experimenting. That's all I did. I did this with you. Like I said, I didn't have a script. I've not seen a tutorial elsewhere. I've done this on the fly, and these are the results we've got. So let's recap. This is an effect. This is an effect. Another effect. Beautiful looking effect here. Another effect. So as you can see, I'm just undoing every step that I've recorded here and see the effects that we're getting. So if you're not happy with one, you can always go back, redo, add noise. So you can see the results are endless. And as a bonus, I don't even know how this is going to work out. I'm just doing some guesswork here. Go to filter, distort, maybe go to wave. Let's see what we get there. That's obviously too much. Let's dial it down a bit. Look at that. I've added a wave filter, minimal settings here, and all I can say is it's pretty darn cool. So I trust that you've liked and enjoyed and learned something in this video. I would request you to obviously like the video, share, and most importantly, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so whenever I upload, you know about it and you can check my videos out. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.